everybody, my name is Luke Mar and this is Hotline Mode, and today on Hotline Mode we are coming to you with our November 2022 fashion roast and review, discussing all the looks from November that you need to see, discuss, talk about on your favorite celebrities. Now, if you're a channel member, listen, there's a channel member exclusive video that has a shit ton of looks, but if you're not a channel member, well, that's a you problem. You can join for just $1 a month, and honestly, it's pretty worth it. So without further ado, let's get into it. All right, next up, we're getting into Anya Taylor-Joy. Anya Taylor-Joy, she's out here, she's doing the promotion for The Menu. I saw it recently. Very good movie, let me just say. Very, very, very good. She was fantastic in it. And considering she literally wore one look the entire film, I'm like happy that we're doing this. First up, we have this Dior look. Now, this is from the most recent spring 2023 ready-to-wear collection. Maria Grazia Curie said, listen, I'm gonna try. And I don't hate that she tried. Do I love it? No. But do I hate that she tried? Also not. So it's pretty much a crochet bra top in a white color, and then there is a high-waisted skirt with a cage crinoline sort of mini skirt situation, and then fabric is placed over top and then flows down. And the thing is, I understand trying to modernize the hoop skirt and crinoline and all that sort of stuff. I appreciate Maria Grazia attempting to do it. I just don't think that it feels seamless here. I think that there's a weird sort of structure that then just falls away and it's kind of strange. But I appreciate that she tried something. I know that Anya is a Dior woman, I believe still. I'm not exactly sure, but I'm pretty positive she is. If she's not, I apologize. I like that she's at least going for a little bit more of a daring Dior look than just floral dress. You know what I mean? That's oftentimes where we go, you know, little chiffon dress. And at least here there's intrigue, there's interest, there's, you know, the textiles I don't hate. Again, it's very natural, it's very earthy, it's very homely, I would say, but I don't hate it. I just don't think that the mini hoop skirt here is great. There is a black version of this look that does not have the long floor length skirt element, and I think that looks much better. I think that's very cool. I think it works. I think it does actually modernize the hoops. I just think that if you're gonna go for a mini hoop skirt, make it mini. Don't make it floor length, because then it doesn't make sense. Next up is Bebe Rexha. Bebe Rexha, what are you doing here? And I know people are gonna, she's a music producer, she's made songs, and it's I get it, it's a joke. It's meant to be funny, haha. As for the look, she is wearing the brand called Bad Binge Tong Tong, which is a New York-based brand by the designer Terrence Zhao. It looks like a big flower. It almost looks like an anthurium, and I feel like Bebe's body is meant to be the stamen. The blue is meant to be more so the petal element, which I think is a cool concept. Do I think that she looks good in it? Yeah. Do I think it's ridiculous? Yeah. But I appreciate that Bebe is trying to be at least fashion forward, a little bit kooky, a little bit crazy, a little bit out there. I think it's fun. I think it's weird. I think it makes no sense, but on occasion I'm into an architectural experience, and so this is that moment. Next up we have Christina Aguilera, and she is wearing Zac Posen. Now this is a custom look for Christina, and in reality, as we can see, Zac Posen is back on the prowl, and I'm happy to hear about it. So Zac has done pretty much usual Zac, which is gorgeous silk, fits Christina phenomenally, and at the torso area we can actually see that there is that signature Zac Posen drape. Comes from a long line of designers like Charles James. The way that these little panels move and groove and they sort of contour and cut into the body and create an emphasis, we can see that the breast area is not your normal circular cut, but rather it's triangular pieces that cut and sort of create a different shape for the bust. We can also see that at the same time the sort of triangular continues and it creates and shapes the waist, but then there's little elements on the side that again sort of taper in the waist and make you look. It's just, that is what construction is about. Zac Posen is a constructionist to the umpteenth degree. He's fantastic at what he does. That bodice in and of itself is just phenomenal. I will say the skirt I think is okay. I don't hate it. I don't love it. It's nice. It's there. It fits. When we look up on the sleeves and all around the sleeves, we can see that there's this big sort of kerfuffle of silk fabric in this gorgeous sort of eggplant royal purple. Creates a little bit of pizzazz, a little bit of excitement, a little bit of glamour, a little bit of intrigue. And it's not just beautiful bodice technique and technical excellence. It's also a little bit of jazz and pizzazz, and I'm happy with that. So shout out to Christina Aguilera, shout out to Zac Posen. I'm happy. Next up we have Cynthia Arriva, and she is wearing Louis Vuitton. Now this is a look from the spring 2023 collection. It is an A-line dress, which I love. Nicolas Ghesquière going for the 1960s moments. You have me. Hook, line, Cinca. I also love the fact that in reality it's a reference to the making and technical elements of Louis Vuitton pieces. I'm pretty positive that this is a reference to belts and straps and things like that, and so that's what's being played on here. You can see that that's actually going on in this high collar, but you can also see that in the hem there's a little sort of belt that could be pulled, I think, if you want, and it creates a little bit of that sort of asymmetrical texture that's going on. I think the black boots I'm fine with. I think it elongates the look. The leather in black keeps in with the leather of the actual dress. Listen, is it the most radical, exciting Cynthia Arriva, Louis Vuitton moment? No, but do I think that it's enough to make me happy and enough to sort of give you 1960s sweet charity, a little bit of drama, a little bit of youthquake, a little bit of Mary Quant-ishness? Yeah. Next up, we have Danai Gurira, and she is wearing Gabrielle Hearst. Now, I believe that this is a look from the spring 2023 Gabrielle Hearst collection, and it's pretty much, I believe, a crochet yellow dress that instead of being a taut, it's very stretched and pulled and yanked and not torn, just been through something. To be completely honest, I'm not really super duper mad about it. I think that the black bra and bottoms underneath I would not have chose. Maybe like a yellow could have worked or something. Maybe even just like brown to match Danai's skin. But I feel like the black takes away the illusion of the full see-through yellow. Now, if it was a black crochet, then yeah, cool, fine. But the fact that it's yellow and then there's the black, I don't see the correlation here. Do I think that the crochet is cool? Yeah, I do. I think it's beautiful. I think it's intriguing. I think that for Gabrielle Hearst, which is a brand about sustainability, much more natural ways of creating a focus on not farm to table, but farm to fashion. Textile development, I think that the idea of going with something like crocheting, which is a very, very old craft and textile technique, it's cool. It makes sense. I'm intrigued by it. I just think that the styling aspect of this with the undergarments, I don't get, but I love the dress on Danai and I think that it's fun. Next up, we have Doja Cat, and she is wearing Jean Paul Gaultier. Now, I believe that it's the fall 1995 Jean Paul Gaultier collection released these really, really iconic cyber dot motifs that come in and out of fashion as time has gone on. But Florence Tellier, who is the creative director of Jean Paul Gaultier currently, wanted to redo the cyber dot and sort of maybe make it a little bit more modern to a consumer. So we can see that Doja Cat is wearing the cyber dot, which is a crop top sort of style. It has a scoop neck plunge and it sort of ends right at the end of the bust area, but it most definitely does create a sort of motif centering around the bust area. And then there's a little bit of a pant, almost like a bikini bottom silhouette in that yellow, and it's the same that matches what's going on here on the bra crop top. Do I love it? I think it's a nice, cool homage to Jean Paul Gaultier, and I think that it's a pretty decent job of the brand re-releasing a pretty iconic piece. I do wish that maybe we had gone a little bit further in remixing it, considering that it's reintroducing an iconic motif to a new space of customer and generation. I get it. I understand it. I don't love it, but I get it, I understand it. I wish that Doja's maybe fit a little bit better. I just feel like, whether it's the pose, the pants just don't fit amazing. I don't really understand what the silhouette of them is supposed to necessarily be. Besides that, I like that Doja's wearing it. It feels very Doja in and of itself. JPG, Doja, it makes sense. It's there. Next up, we have Dua Lipa, and she is wearing a look from Bottega Veneta's Resort 2023 collection. It's a icy blue and red plaid dress. Now, it has an asymmetrical neckline. It has a triangular piece at the waist that in reality, we can see there's a little bit of gathering and pulling going on at the sort of bust area. And then in reality, it flows down to about like a shin length. Also is, I believe, a semi-scallop. It's very wide scallop hem. There is a white sort of crunchy leather boot and then a little textured handbag, which I believe is a woven bag that still shows what's going on inside with a little bit of a fish handle. In reality, do I think it's like the craziest? look, no. Now, this is an outfit that she actually wore for, I believe, receiving her citizenship to Albania. I don't know exactly if the look ties in with anything Albanian. I know that the Albanian flag is red with a sort of black double-headed bird. I haven't found too many pictures or anything like that that I could see with the light blue with the red, so I'm not really sure if they tie in together. Do I think like it's a cute look? Do I think it's professional? Do I think it's somebody that looks like they're receiving something kind of important? Yeah, sure, it's fine. Obviously, I love a little bit of a daring look for Dua, but I'm happy for her getting her citizenship, and I like a Bottega moment usually, so like, cute. Next up, we have Emma Chamberlain, and she is wearing vintage Prada, and I believe she's also wearing Cartier. This is a vintage Prada look. I don't know what collection or season it's from, but listen, like, it's vintage Prada. I'm usually kind of into it. She does wear a little Prada bag that I believe is newer season Prada. It's a simple sort of black suit. It fits her very well, I have to say. The tailoring is nice. The way that the jacket sort of has 18th century habit à la française, fall away, crispness in the cut of the jacket. I like it. And then I like that the shirt underneath also has that sort of fall away ability that it exposes a little bit of stomach. I think it's cool. I think it's intriguing. Again, with suiting, you don't really see that too much, so it's nice when you do. The pants, a little bit baggy, but I like it. I think it's fun. I think it's cool. It feels very Prada-y-esque-ness. And then the sharp shoe and the bag, I'm okay with. Listen, Emma looks good. I'm into it. She's a businesswoman. She doesn't really care. She's just vibing, and I'm into it. Usually. Next up, we have Gabrielle Union, and she is wearing Valentino. Now, she's wearing the shit out of this pink, beautiful Valentino dress. It is a plunging Valentino gown with these flowers that are made out of fabric. They're gorgeous roses, Valentino classic. It's in a gorgeous, gorgeous pink. The skirt, I believe, is a trumpet skirt, and I just think she is commanding it. You know what I mean? Like, I think that there's a beauty in the fit of the skirt, but in reality, it also defers to the gorgeousness of these fabric roses, the way that the fabric roses just move and groove up. They're, you know, a little bit big, a little bit small. They're not all just exactly the same. It just has that crisp, clean, cool Valentino feeling. Pier Paolo has that done himself. Gabrielle looks stunned. We stand. Next up, we have Jack Harlow wearing Hugo Boss, and it just like, why can't this man find a suit that fits? Like, look at the sleeves. It just gives me severe anxiety. A black bow tie with the black shirt, with the black suit, with the black pants, and the black patent leather shoes. Like, Jack Harlow, you look like you're going to Sweet 16. I don't understand it. It's just so bad. And I know that Jack Harlow's like suave and smooth, and his wardrobe is not. His wardrobe is god-awful. It hurts my soul. It makes me feel shivers and goosebumps in like the worst way possible, and I need him to fix that. Because like everything else about Jack Harlow would be fine. It's just the wardrobe is goddamn garbage. He needs a stylist that understands how to dress him. Because like from Hermes to Hugo Boss, like it's just, it's everything is a goddamn disaster. Like we get things that fit. I don't get it. Somebody explain it to me and then maybe I'll get it. But that's bad. Like, you can see that that's bad. It looks like Men's Warehouse. And no offense to Men's Warehouse, but like, that is not where I go when I need to rent a suit. Okay? It's just not. I go to the Black Tux. It's very good. Next up, we have Jenna Ortega, and she is wearing Dion Lee. Now, Dion Lee is a Australian brand that's based in New York. It's known usually for like beautiful knits, very sort of intriguing sporty styles, and more recently lace. Jenna Ortega is title and titular character of none other than Wednesday on Netflix. I will say that I think that Jenna is smart in the way that she's going about the sort of press tour for Wednesday, or the way that she went about it, which was wear black. Be gothic, be Victorian inspired, play into the Wednesday Addams effect, dreary and sort of morbid, but at the same time chic, and play on different elements of old world style, because like that's what the Addams family really is. Will I be doing a fashion review of Wednesday? Probably not. So I apologize in advance, but like, I'm not going to tell you that I'm going to do one because like, I most definitely am not. But let's get into this dress. Now, I love this dress because it's very Dion Lee daring, DLD. It's a scoop neck dress that has an off-the-shoulder function, but there also is lace straps. In reality, Dion Lee is very sporty. It's a very sort of athleisure brand. You can move, you can groove in it, which when you think about lace, not exactly what you think of. You think of grandeur and delicate and, you know, refined and things like that. You don't think of like move and groove. There are sort of two lace panels at the waist that essentially lace panels, they're like cutouts, but also we can see that I can't tell if it's the fit of the dress or if this is just like a Dion Lee this is what I'm trying to do, but like, you're getting underboob. Like, there is a part underboob here, which personally I stan. I think it's cool, I think it's different, I think it's just a little bit more daring than, you would expect. And it feels very Wednesday Addams to me. Not in the sense of like, Wednesday Addams is all about letting it all hang out, but she's sort of like, I don't really care for your Judeo-Christian beliefs and values and morals, and like, so it. And that's kind of what I feel like is going on. I do think that Dion Lee, for the past 2 seasons, has really gotten into lace. It's something that he really has been pushing, so I love to see it. Then there is a high slit with pretty positive it's like a lace leg. I don't think it's a part of the skirt. I think it's like genuine sort of lace pant leg, but there's only one of them. But it gives the effect that there is a lace overlay, but it's just a high slitted skirt element. In reality, I love this. I think it's super cool. I think it's super intriguing. I think it's super interesting. I think it's daring. I think it's fun. Modernly captures the idea of Wednesday Addams. So like, shout out to JENNA ORTEGA for going into the method dressing experience. I always appreciate it. Next up, we have Jennie Kim from Blackpink. Now, she was on the cover of Elle magazine. Elle shot her in like all close-ups, which like, for the Blackpink stans, I'm happy for you, but for the hot Lamodis out there, I like a full look, so it's hard when it's like we're just getting portraiture. Let's talk about the Chanel look. Do I know what collection it's exactly from? No, but do I know that it's a knit with not sheer, but skin exposure details in like a trellis sort of fashion? Yes, I do think there are cute little patterns inside of these little diamonds, and then there is, honestly, what I think is probably the most cute thing and the thing that makes me intrigued is that close, this little knit crop top, are little Chanel C's. The top is cute. The skirt is a mini skirt in white, as a matching sort of white. It's not a knit, it is like a guipure lace full of different flowers and a couple of the interlocking Chanel double C's. There is a little fish net stocking situation going on and some Chanel jewelry. And my thing is like, just want a little bit more. I understand that, when you look at a Blackpink music video, you're like, oh, this is like styling. And then everywhere else, I'm like, where is that? My thing is, I do think Jennie does a great job of selling the garment. 100%, completely. She's radiant. Like, she's beautiful enough. If I saw this on anybody else, I'd probably be like, I hate it. But I think that she gives it a real je ne sais quoi. But at the same time, I just wish that like, outside of the Blackpink music videos, there was more like fashion. And I understand that like, she's a Chanel woman, so like, that's tough, and I get it. I want more. I want more. There was another Chanel look, which is far worse than the one that we just talked about. And it's this halter bodysuit that has Chanel C's in like studs all running down it. And then there's just a little sort of legging situation going. It's sad. I don't know why we did that. You know what I mean? Like, where's the haute couture? Right? Like, give me a little haute couture moment and Luke will be happy. And I can at least say like, that's couture. It's beautifully made. I'm not saying that this isn't beautifully made, but like, yikes, no. I want Blackpink in your area. Shit. Because you watch those goddamn music videos, you're like, oh, well, excuse the out of me. Obviously, there's a styling experience going on. Like, a story is being told. This is it? Commercial? Why didn't you just put her on the e-com and call it a day? I don't get it. Next up, we have Jessica Chastain, and she is wearing Michael Kors. It's a green halter dress with a cowl, neck in the front, and an exposed back. Listen, to me, do I love it? No. Do I think that it's very simple, classic Michael Kors in a sense of clean, crisp, American sportswear-y sort of lines? Yeah. Do I wish that it was maybe a little bit more intriguing and a little bit more zhuzh? Sure. But at the same time, when I think about the most recent Michael Kors collection and the idea of Studio 54 and the 1970s and glamour and disco and dance and clubbing and all those things, like, to a degree, this hits those points. And again, it's Michael Kors. Expecting a menagerie of over-the-top, avant-garde, excelling experiences, you're gonna lose. I hate to be the bearer of bad news. Considering it's Michael Kors, the fact that it's like a key lime green is interesting enough. I don't love it. It's just a nice dress. It looks fine. I'm okay with this. Next up, we have Kendall Jenner, and she is wearing Bottega Veneta. Now, this is a look from the Spring 2023 Bottega collection, and it is essentially a beautiful knit navy blue sweater with a white sort of shirt underneath that is paired with black bottoms and long stockings and a black heel and a Bottega handbag, which is that interwoven handbag with the fish handle in gold. This is most definitely a conversation of, is it fashion or is she skinny? I think we all know that it's the latter, but I'm also going to sit here and say that I do love this. I think it's fun. I think anybody and everybody should be able to wear this, myself included. I'd love to just throw on a nice chunky sweater and a stocking and call it a day. I think it's fun. I think it's funky. I think it's fresh. I think this is something you also could like literally only wear out in like Los Angeles, because in New York right now it's about 30 degrees and you know, you couldn't catch me outside. And you couldn't catch me outside with these stockings not as exclusively a Uniqlo like Heat Tech little long john. Okay, so there's that. But do I think that the styling of the look is cool? Yeah, I think it's fun to sort of do a sweater with a non-pant look. I don't think that's bad. I don't think that's weird. Listen, for a lot of people, they're like, who can wear that? Kendall Jenner. And you know what? In this case, like, I'm okay with that. I think it's fun. I think it's funky. I think it's different. I think it's weird. I think it's cool. I think it's chic. I think it's elegant. I think that all of these pieces also probably cost a whole lot of money and are probably made of very, very high quality material. I'm happy with this. Next up, we have Carrie Washington wearing Sergio Hudson. I really like this dress. Listen, polka dots in black and white are very, I would say, old world, elegant motif. If you look at haute couture from the middle section of the last century, it very much so is something that pops up in most designers' collections. I think Sergio Hudson is a designer who, for the most part, is very usually about classic sort of styles, doing elegant sort of gowns, elegant outerwear, casual classic things that are wearable. And I think that this is a nice example of that. I think that the ruching on the sides works. I think that in reality, the little sort of flow-away train is nice. I think that Carrie looks good. It's simple. It's easy. I don't hate this. I actually kind of really enjoy it. I think it looks lovely. I'm good with this. Next up, we have Kylie Jenner wearing Mugler. Now, I'm pretty positive from what I've seen that this headpiece that she's wearing, which is crazy, and again, I say, like, people wear the headpieces. Give me headpiece. Love a headpiece. You could just say, oh, how was your headpiece? And then you say, oh, haven't had any complaints. There's fun to be had with a headpiece always. But this is from a Thierry Mugler iconic haute couture collection, I believe. I believe it's like fall 1999. It's gorgeous. It's stunning. It's radiant. It's effervescent. It just feels sparkly and gorgeous and bubbly, and I like it. As for the gown, I don't hate it. I think that the wasp waist, I think that the fit, I think that the exposed corset all feels very old school Mugler. That goes into a mermaid skirt with a feather fluff as well. Like, it's nice. It all correlates. It doesn't take away from what's going on with the headpiece. They work pretty well together. I think that also the fact that there's enough space between the headpiece and where the dress actually starts also does a pretty good job of giving both of these items room to take effect. I think it's a nice Kylie look. I think it's fine. Next up, we have Lindsay Lohan, and she is wearing Michael Kors. She is back. She's on it. She hired La Roche. She's going for it head first. So this is a look from spring 2023. It's a Michael Kors vest tunic. I would say like it's a sleeveless vest, coat, jacket, tunic experience, because it's so low, like it falls so low, but it's sleeveless, but it also looks like a coat. And then it's belted with a gold sort of mini belt, and then there's a little bit of a slitted skirt that comes down to around like the end of the shin area. And listen, like, I like that Lindsay Lohan went for it. She's back. She's doing her thing. I'm happy. I'm here. Pilk. If you don't know it, that's a you problem. I would rather drink Pilk. Have to keep looking at the fit of this outfit. It's not good. And my thing is, I don't think this was an amazing runway look. Like, when I saw it, I said, okay. I think that this is a look that skews a lot more conservative and a lot more buttoned up. And I'm not saying that Lindsay Lohan has to, throw caution to the wind. I also just don't really know if the fit of this helps. I just think it looks a little bit baggy. I think we can see the crinkles and the wrinkles. The skirt is it's not great. Like, even just the belt in and of itself is not. I appreciate it, but I think that this is more of like a Madison Avenue Madame Michael Kors than it is like a return to the spotlight actress Michael Kors moment. And I think Lindsay Lohan is meant to be in the latter, and there are so many looks from that collection that would have been much better than this one. I find it to be a little bit unfortunate. Next up, we have Lori Harvey, and she's wearing off-white. Now listen, she just goes for it, and I'm very into it. A shrug is pretty much like a shawl sweater? And then there's a sheer sort of knit dress that I believe has been paired underneath. It's a halter sort of style. And then it sort of is sheer to a degree, but then there's an opaqueness that covers like the breast, the stomach, pelvic region, and goes all the way down. There seems to be a pant, so there's like an overlay, there's like a catsuit in it. There's a lot going on here. I appreciate that she goes for it. Do I think that this look lands? No, but I appreciate that Lori Harvey always, like, she tries really, really hard, and she always gets an A for effort. Do I think that she always lands it? No, always an A for effort. Next, we have Lupita Nyong'o, and she is wearing Prada. Now, I believe that this is a custom style. It's a plunging black dress with a Prada triangle right in the center. It doesn't say Prada on it, but you know it's a Prada triangle. There's a little front flap of fabric, and then it's a gorgeous sort of cut gown. There's a little Prada shoe, a Prada bag. Listen, do I want like more drama and excitement and all that sort of stuff? Sure, absolutely, of course. This feels very nice, easy, custom Prada. It looks very dressed up and cool. Do I obviously wish it was a little bit more intelligent Prada where it's, you know, has a meaning and a layer and this and that? Yeah, of course. But I think at the same time, like when Prada does commercial and more simple, this is a nice dress. I could see people buying this. If that's what we're going for, fine. If it's not what we're going for, not fine. Do I want more excitement? Of course. At this point, like, we're so far into this video that like you all know that I want more excitement, so it's, yeah. Next up, we have Margot Robbie, and Margot is out of that Chanel contract, so she's trying a little bit of everybody, you know what I mean? She's taking everybody's fashion pie, and I like it. So on this cover of Vanity Fair, she's wearing Alaya. It's a cropped black velvet turtleneck top, and then a low sort of cut pelvic exposure kind of skirt. It's very King of Cling Alaya. I think that she's definitely going for it. Listen, again, it's the question of like, is it fashion or is she skinny? I think again, like it's most definitely the latter. This look to me doesn't really dazzle the way that other, you know, looks do when we pose this question. Do I think that Margot Robbie herself looks stunning? Of course, absolutely. But I want a little bit more pizzazz fashion-wise, you know what I mean? Like a little bit more silhouette, a little bit more experience. Like, yes, do I think that it fits the idea of Alaya and the King of, you know, fitted and garment and stretch and all that stuff? Yeah, of course. But like, she needed to hit the ground running, and she just hit the ground. And, you know, I'm waiting for her to get up. Next up, we have Michelle Obama, and she is wearing Bottega Veneta. Now, this is a look, I believe, from spring 2023, and I can tell that because of those gorgeous colors that Mathieu Blasi did. Listen, Michelle is Michelle. She's wearing a full black look. It's simple, it's fitted, it's clean, but in reality, like what you have to be as a former first lady is like you gotta deliver. She can't do like crazy outlandish, although like she can and she has in the past, but I think it's also smart to sort of do things that are crisp and clean, denote the stature and essence and understanding of being the former first lady. So I don't know, when I see Michelle, it's like she's like, I'm off the clock from that, but like I still look good, and that's what I think is important. So again, I just love this collar. I think it's great. I think the shape of it is amazing. I think the shape of them from when they were on the runway were amazing. The little flare of this jacket, it's like a shirt jacket to me. I can't really tell which one it is. Also is great. It's easy. You know, it creates a nice little hourglass silhouette. The pants, they could fit a little bit better. I'll be honest. I can say that. I have no problem saying that. They're a little bit baggy, which maybe they're trying to be, and that's fine, and I get it, and good for you, but they just, I think maybe the pose here is just not helping me. But love the jacket. Gorgeous, stunning, amazing. Next up, we have Rosalia, and she is wearing Miu Miu. I believe that this is a custom look. It's a black opaque dress with a sheer upper bodice experience. There's a little bit of a crystal bra wire applique going on, and it says Miu Miu, and it's fitted. I don't know. I just don't think this is the best Miu Miu look. Listen, I'm not saying that everybody and their mother has to come around wearing pleated skirts and cut-off sweaters and has to look like Madeline gone bad. But I also don't really think that this is like the best Miu Miu look. I get it, it's meant to be frilly and light and all that sort of stuff, but it just doesn't look great. I think that applique here just doesn't really fit with the rest of the look. I don't think we need to write Miu Miu in the center. The skirt element that's opaque, the fit looks weird and strange. I don't love it. I don't think that it delivers on the Miu Miu-ness that we've been getting the past year. Next up, we have Sydney Sweeney. She is wearing Laquan Smith. Now, listen, to a degree, does it feel a little bit like Claude Lange, Yves Saint Laurent? Yeah, you heard in the last bit. But in reality, do I think it's a little bit different? Yeah, I think that it's like a chrome bra, corset, breastplate piece. Do I think that this one reflects really, really well and it's kind of like chromified and it's mirroring? Yes, I think that's a little bit better. Do I think also though that this is kind of like becoming a Laquan signature cut, which is one arm comes out, there's an exposure of the waist diagonally, and then there's another sleeve on the other side? Yeah, I do. I don't hate it. I just don't love it. I'm kind of like, I wish I didn't see it. It happened, but you know, if a tree falls in the forest and nobody hears it, like, did it fall? In this case, I heard the tree fall. Unfortunately, I just don't want to have to admit that I did hear the tree fall. Now, I just want to let everybody know that I'm pretty positive that these looks were so bad that they made me lose my voice, and that's the issue here. But we had Taylor Swift up next. She's wearing David Koma. I just don't know what she was thinking. I'm not understanding. A little bodysuit that has some sort of trellis detail with costume jewelry, these big sort of green, they look like emeralds to me, runs down and falls to about the ankle. And like, I don't understand it. I feel like Taylor is going for sequined, shiny stone elements and styles, at least recently. I just think it's an ugly look. Like, it's literally just taking a bodysuit and putting a high-waisted chainmail style over top and being like, we did it, fashion. And it's like, no, you didn't. It makes her look awkward. I just find that, again, there are certain ways about going about dressing that if you're going to do something a little bit out there, you have to sell the garment. Standing with one arm on your hip and a pose like this and rigid and like, you don't sell the garment. You have to be able to sell the storyline. There has to be a storyline here. There's not much of it, but if there's not much of a storyline there, then you have to be able to pose, to emote, to give some sort of something so that at least, you know, the people that are looking at it can be like, okay, she's trying. But here, this reminds me of like 2012 Taylor Swift when she was just coming onto the scene, didn't understand how to act, did not have this confidence, did not have, you know, she was just meek Taylor Swift with a guitar in front of her. And the thing is, I just feel like we're still at that phase when we look at moments like this. Like, remember that time that she wore Louis Vuitton to the Met Gala and everybody's like, you look terrible. I don't think she looked terrible. Maybe I said she looked terrible in the moment, but I think that she, in reality, gave in to the aesthetic, the idea, the vibe of the look, and it was so much better. And then you look at this and you're like, oh, I want Taylor Swift to do more for me. We then had Timothée wear Vivian Westwood. It's a gray sweater with hearts on it, and then the Vivian Westwood sort of orb and ring around it. He's wearing pearl choker, again, black pants, black boots. Could wear this anywhere. I don't know why this is like a premiere look. You know what I mean? Like, again, it's just, there's so many cool, exciting young designers to work with. Like, there's so many cool, exciting Westwood looks to wear. We're just gonna wear Vivian Westwood sample sale sweater. And lastly, we have Zoe Kravitz. She's wearing Saint Laurent. Now, this is a draped dress. It has a low plunging neckline. It has a diamond cutout at the stomach and exposes the belly button and a little bit of the pelvis. There's some draping going on area. There's sleeves. I actually kind of love the sleeves. I think they're kind of chic. It's a floor length dress, a little bit of like a mermaid flare. It's not super exciting. Is it fashion? Or are you just skinny? It's the latter. But I do think that here, more so, there's a little bit more element of like drape, a little bit more emphasis on like cut. There's a little bit of intrigue with the sleeve, a little bit of intrigue with the drape. It's not amazing, but it's slinky, sexy Anthony Vaccarello, but it's done a little bit more conservative, I would say, in the sleeve. But then at the same time, it dichotomizes that by, you know, exposing a lot of body. So take it as you will. With that, we're done. Finally, who's best? It's a toughie. Gabrielle Union in Valentino. Loved that. Was a big fan. Oh, I liked Carrie Washington and Sergio Hudson. I also, I know this is going to be so annoying, but I liked Kendall Jenner in the Bottega. It was good. It was fun. Taylor Russell, without a doubt. Love that vintage Gucci moment. Oh, Michelle Obama in Bottega was good too. All right, I think that's good for the best. As for the worst, quite a few. Jack Harlow, mess. Always a mess. It's ridiculous. Taylor Swift and the David Koma was just Timothée Chalamet, Vivian Westwood, Lindsay Lohan, Michael Kors. But I'd love to know what you guys think in the comments down below. Please enlighten me. I'd love to hear all of your amazing comments and thoughts and opinions and critiques, criticisms. I will see you guys in the next video. Thank you so much for watching, and TTYL.